So we started off the first race of the year down at Southampton parkrun, just to see where we're at in the marathon plan speed-wise, and a little base marker. With just over 1,200 people taking part in the parkrun this morning, it's good to get near the front if you are going a bit quicker, just so you don't get boxed in and to get the best start possible. As you can see, it starts off pretty quick. It is easy to get yourself boxed in. Saying that, you do have to take into consideration everyone on the course and to respect everyone at all times. Before the race took part, I didn't really have a clue what I was going to do pace-wise. We haven't really done a lot of speed work so far, and I needed a sort of base marker to set myself today. So today was all about effort and just to see what I could maintain. As you can see, it's quite early still in the race, but we're still picking people off, getting into some sort of rhythm. The heart rate has bumped right up from the start, as you can see on the screen. About 8 seconds or so. 17:32. Yeah, good. So the guy here on the left in the blue does actually have another runner who comes and sits with him from the same club. They're quite key because I will try and gauge off them. I do try and keep them in sight. I don't want the gap to get too big, and then it tries to settle me down on what sort of pace I need to go at, because the last thing I want to do is try and push too hard too early and then blow up. Saying that, as you can see on the screen, my heart rate is very high. So now as the other guy comes past me, I try and keep the gap as minimal as possible and just try and gauge with them two how fast I'm going to go. So as we come into the first mile and my watch ticking over, it coming at 5 minutes 41 seconds. So not too bad, just wondering if I can maintain that or not. It's probably a lot quicker than what I thought I was going to go at the start of the race. As we come off the gravel path onto the section here, it does become really flat again. So as you can see, the guys have just started to pull away. So I'm going to take my time, trying to rein them back in without using too much. We're about 1.5 miles in to the park run, and you can see the pace is starting to drop slightly, and that's because we're going up a slight gradient hill, and it's just about maintaining, getting through this section, and trying to claw back that gap and keeping those two guys in front in sight. As we come up the hill here, I have gained quite a good gap between the guys in front. I'm working very hard, as you can see from the heart rate. It's just trying to maintain it up this hill, because once we get to the top, you do start to decline down, so you can recover your legs there if you haven't used too much. So now it's just trying to dig deep, get up to the top here and maintain. we're still climbing, I'm now trying to go for the overtake. I'm going to try and give it a little kick here, just to try and lose these two and to maintain a pace to keep them away from me. So as I've kicked on here, I'm thinking I'm getting away, but the guy also comes back and he's just telling me now, I'm here and I ain't going nowhere. He comes past, he sits in front and slows, so I'm starting to get boxed in. So what I've done is I've kicked again, just to try and get out of that box situation. So now we're on to the second mile, and that coming at around 5:54 pace. So it was slower than the last mile. With just over a mile left, I'm starting to tire a bit now, but I know once I get to the top, it does go downhill slightly. As you can see on the right hand part of the screen, another runner does come flying past who's not part of the park run. We do nearly cross paths, but where I'm tired, I'm not going to slow down. So we're at a point now in the race where it does start to go downhill. It's a really good section for me to get the legs recovered and to see what I've got left in the tank. In this downhill section, I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to let the video play out. So as we come from the downhill section now to the flat, it's a really big grind. I'm now working extremely hard to maintain and keep the guys behind off my tail. Mile 3 is about to tick over. Off the watch, that was around 5:29 pace. So you can see that's a big difference from the second mile. So it's all about keeping the legs going around the last bit and really digging in. As we come onto the gravel track here and come round, I have now kicked on. I've heard one of the runners behind me, so there's no way at this point of the park run that I'm going to let anyone overtake me this far in if I can't help it. I'm crossing the line now coming at 10th place. As you can tell by the next clip, I was extremely tired, trying to get my breath back.
I can hear you. Sorry, the guys, grotty. These two kept me going. I can hear you. No, I like it. I was starting to die towards the end. 17:32 today. That is well overachieving what I thought I was going to do, considering my PB's 17:22. So 6 weeks into the marathon plan, and also 17:32. Yeah, good.